Part 1 is to trick your brain. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's your brain protecting you from something that feels overwhelming. It's basically saying, too scary, too hard. One trick I use is that I rename the task in my head from something tiny to something tiny and fun. Instead of write 10 pages, I tell myself I'm just writing that one paragraph. Suddenly, it doesn't feel like climbing a mountain. Part 2 is a 5-minute start. Here is the golden rule. Start with 5 minutes. Set a timer. Tell yourself, I'll only do this for 5 minutes. Most of the time, once you start, your brain gets into the flow and keeps going. Even science backs this. Starting triggers dopamine, the same chemical that makes you feel good when you accomplish something. That little hit in your brain saying, hey, this isn't so bad. Part 3 is to make it playful. Make your work feel like a game. I like to set tiny challenges. How many math problems can I solve in 10 minutes? Or, can I clean my desk before this song ends? Small wins create momentum, and the dopamine from completing each mini task makes you want to keep going. Your brain starts associating productivity with fun and not stress. Part 4 is the mini habits that actually stick. Here's the trick I started using. Mini habits. Instead of finish all the homework, focus on the tiniest next step. Even if something like opening the textbook or writing one line counts. Another one is to set a tiny ritual. For me, it's like starting a 2-minute stretch or doodling a to-do list in colorful pens. Little actions like this make it easier to stay consistent and stop overthinking. The secret? Momentum. Every tiny action builds a little snowball. Eventually, when you're rolling through the task without even noticing. So this is it. Procrastination isn't about the huge motivation bursts or forcing yourself. It's about starting small, building momentum, and giving yourself credit for every tiny step. Open the book, write one line, do one small thing that counts. Do this consistently, and suddenly procrastination loses its power. You'll feel in control, proud, and actually excited to get stuff done. Give it a try today, and trust me, the snowball effect works. You've got this. Hey guys, it's Ashna. Quick question. Have you ever felt exhausted after hanging out with a friend, like all your energy just disappeared? Today we're talking about how to detach from toxic friends without drama, guilt, or losing yourself. Part 1 is to recognize the signs. Step 1 is to spot the toxicity. Ask yourself, do they constantly criticize or compare? Or do they only reach out when they need something? Or do I feel drained, anxious, or guilty after talking to them? I realized one friend I had was always negative. After hanging out, I felt stressed instead of happy. That's your brain's way of saying, time to rethink this connection. Part 2 is to set your boundaries slowly. Detaching doesn't mean a big confrontation. Start small. Limit how you often respond or hang out. Politely say, I can't right now, or I need some space. For example, I started replying slower to messages that felt demanding, and eventually I stopped agreeing to meet when I didn't feel like it. It felt scary at first, but my energy improved immediately. Part 3 is to focus on yourself. Shift your focus to your own growth. I started journaling, exercising, and picking up hobbies I loved. When you fill your life with positivity, you naturally drift away from the toxic connections. Fun tip is to surround yourself with people who lift you up, even if it's just that one new supportive friend or an online community. Your energy grows and you start valuing yourself. Part 4 is the emotional detachment technique. Here's a practical trick. Visualize your energy like a bubble. When someone drains you, imagine pulling your bubble around yourself, keeping your vibe safe and separate. Pair this with small affirmations like I deserve respect, I am in control of my circle, it's okay to walk away. Tiny mental habits like this build emotional strength fast. So the key from detaching toxic friends isn't mean, it's self-care. Recognize the signs, set boundaries, focus on yourself, protect your emotional energy. Do this consistently and you'll feel lighter, happier, and way more confident in every friendship you choose to keep. Your circle should lift you up and not drag you down. Hey guys, it's Ashna. Quick question. When was the last time you actually gave yourself a high five for just existing? No one else has to hype you up. Today, you are the VIP of your own life. And trust me, it's way more fun than waiting for likes and comments. First thing is to own your space. Think of your day like a mini movie and you're the lead. How you start sets the tone. Even something small like walking into class or opening your locker can be your moment to shine. I like to pick that one tiny move that makes me feel confident. Maybe a quick stretch, a fist pump, or just standing taller. It sounds simple, but your brain actually takes it as a signal. Like, yes, I've got this. The coolest part is other people notice your vibe too, even if you don't try. Confidence is contagious. Next thing is to collect micro wins. Tiny victories are everything. It makes Mondays way less scary. Next is the quick confidence boosts. Here's a little trick I started doing. Before anything stressful, I take 30 seconds to stand tall, roll my shoulders back, and smile at myself in the mirror. Sounds simple, but it instantly I feel walking into the class or talking to someone new. Another one is that I write a tiny note of that one thing I did well today. Doesn't even have to be huge. Even finishing a hard assignment counts. Seeing it written down makes you realize that wow, I actually got stuff done. These tiny confidence wins stack up over time and suddenly you're walking through your day like you actually run the show. Next is having the quick hype moves. Little things can make a huge difference. For example, number 1 is to put on your hype song in the morning. Number 2 is to smile at yourself in the mirror for 10 seconds. Pretend that you're the star of your trailer. Number 3 is to do one small thing that makes you proud. Finish homework, clean your desk, reply to a text that you've been putting off. Trust me. Do this 3 times a day and your brain actually starts believing that you're doing great. Validating yourself isn't about being loud or showing off. It's about noticing your wins, vibing with your own soundtrack, and giving yourself the applause you deserve. Start small, do it consistently, and watch how much lighter and confident your days feel. And if you haven't already, check out my last video. It will be in the link in my description. We're glowing, vibing, and leveling up together. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.